Hello. All right, I think we are live. Good. All right. Okay. So we are going to pretty much jump right into the presentation because I'm going to leave this video up for replay for the whole month. So it's going to be pinned at the top of the group. You can come back, review it, listen to it again. You know, if you miss some parts, you can go back and rewatch them. So just so you know, we're going to be doing a giveaway, lots of giveaways throughout the month, and you get entries by liking, sharing, commenting on this video, and I'll post what all the giveaways are. There's one already posted, and also adding people to the group will get you 5 entries to every giveaway, and I'm going to be giving something away at least once a week and every couple of days. Okay, so let's jump right in. Welcome. Again, this video is more for replay, so we're going to just get right to it. All right, let me pull up the presentation. Oh, I know it. Let me get right back to the top here. Okay, sorry about that. I thought it was already in the beginning. Okay, so we're talking about what does leaky gut have to do with weight gain. And before we start, you should know who I am and whether or not I have anything important to say. So I am a doctor of chiropractic. I went to New York Chiropractic College over in the Finger Lakes. I also have my Master's of Science in Exercise Science with a concentration in Human Performance from Ithaca College. I did my undergraduate work in Psychology and Health and Wellness. I used to be a former strength and conditioning coach, and I also have over 10 years of experience in academic research across multiple fields, including psychology, exercise science, and biomechanics. I also hold multiple certifications in whole foods nutrition. I've done a lot of nutrition throughout my career and have studied it a lot. So there you have it. Now you know that I'm not just some schmuck. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is the gut, how it relates to weight gain, and some solutions to some of the issues that we're going to be discussing. So you might have heard this phrase, it all starts in the gut. If this is completely new to you, we're going to explain this in depth, but this also might be somewhat familiar. So we're going to talk about first what leaky gut is, because that's the title of the presentation. What does leaky gut have to do with weight gain? So leaky gut, the more medical term for it is intestinal permeability. So it's basically what happens is the layer of cells within the intestine and throughout the intestine are coated with this nice, thick, protective mucus layer. And then behind that mucus layer is a layer of cells that are basically the guards of the actual epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is any surface cells. So your skin is epithelial tissue, the lining of your blood vessels, that's a form of epithelial tissue. And now we have the lining of your intestine, another form of epithelial tissue. So what you're going to have with intestinal permeability is something coming in and wiping out that mucus layer and killing off all those cells that protect the actual intestinal cells that are absorbing your nutrients, and providing a barrier from all of the bad stuff in the gut. So now we have the mucus is gone, the guard cells are gone, and you can see that these gaps start to form between intestinal cells that are large enough to let particles out and get into the bloodstream. And these particles can include infectious bacteria, toxins from medications, and foods such as additives and plastics and things like that, and actual food particles. So when this leakiness happens, that's called leaky gut, or in the medical studies, intestinal permeability. And sometimes this can be a good thing when the cells separate. If you get a bug or a food poisoning, you tend to get diarrhea. And the reason you get diarrhea is because these cells separate and allow fluid to rush in and dilute the bad bacteria, and then you can eliminate it. So it's kind of a protective mechanism. But when it becomes chronic and due to the breakdown of all the protective mucus layers and protective cells in the intestine, then it becomes pathological, and then you start to get symptoms. So here are some of the things that are associated with leaky gut. So you might have it if you have any autoimmune conditions. Any and all autoimmune conditions are associated with this leaky gut phenomenon. Any type of allergies, whether they are food or environmental. They did studies on people who are presenting with food allergies. It doesn't matter what type of food allergy. And they measured some chemicals in the body that tell you, hey, this person has leaky gut. And 100% of the subjects that had food allergies also had leaky gut. So that's a very important association to recognize, because 100% findings in anything is very rare, especially in research. Any type of skin disorders, atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, general hives, depending on what the reaction is from with hives. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. If you experience excessive bloating or gas or intestinal cramps, that can be a sign of leaky gut. If you're feeling like you're not eliminating your bowels completely, again, another sign. People with metabolic syndrome, which is a combination of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes, very much show signs and indicators of leaky gut. If you have chronic yeast infections, that could be an indication. Chronic urinary tract infections, joint pain, sluggishness, headaches, brain fog, any type of liver disease, high cholesterol can even be related to leaky gut. And this is not even a comprehensive list. This is just some of the things. We wouldn't be able to fit the whole list on this screen. So this is a big deal. This pretty much includes everybody that we know. So what causes it? A lot of things cause leaky gut, unfortunately. One of the big ones is any type of change in the population number and type of the bacteria in your gut, which is called gut flora, and we're going to talk about that at length in a little bit. High fructose corn syrup is completely foreign to our bodies. We haven't evolved to recognize it and break it down, digest, and assimilate it. So whatever the body doesn't recognize, it becomes very destructive throughout the gastrointestinal tract. Salt, well, Himalayan sea salt is okay, but excessive table salt intake can start to break down that mucus layer. Preservatives are pervasive. They're everywhere. They're in everything we eat, everything we touch, and they are wildly destructive to the gut. They're doing a lot of studies in rats, which is where all research starts, pretty much. And they are feeding rats emulsifiers in the same concentration that humans are eating these particular types of emulsifiers, and they're finding that the mice are demonstrating the same list of problems that are on this page. And of course, it's not a human study yet, and there are randomized controlled trials with human studies, but if you just look at how destructive it is by feeding emulsifiers to animals like mice, what does that do to us humans? And you can see not good things. It's very destructive, wipes out that mucus layer. It starts to kill off those protective cells that guard the intestine from being exposed to all the bad stuff in your intestine that is only supposed to be exposed to your toilet. Another thing is olestra, which is also called olean, O-L-E-A-N, in light versions of potato chips, Pringles, I can't remember what other brands, but if you see, let's say they're potato chips and it has that big light version, you can bet that this olestra is an ingredient in there, and it was put in to reduce the fat content. But unfortunately, again, it's one of those things that the body doesn't recognize as food, and instead of just getting rid of it, it is allowed to create this destruction in the gut. POPs and EDCs. POP stands for persistent organic pollutants, and emulsifiers can be tucked under this category, but they're also included in plasticizers and packaging, the plastic packaging that food comes in, and include other food additives, as well as EDCs, which are endocrine disrupting chemicals, which affect, as the name implies, your endocrine system, so your hormones. A lot of, again, food additives are endocrine disrupting chemicals. One of the ingredients to look out for are parabens and phthalates. Those are very, very, very well-known endocrine disrupting chemicals. After this is over, there's going to be a link in this group that will take you to a little handout, just a Word document that has definitions of these big words and what to look for on food labels, so that don't worry so much about this terminology now, because you'll get it in a piece of paper as we're done, and you can just kind of print it out and have it as a little guide or handout to help you along. So don't worry too much about that. Nanoparticles and organic solvents, we don't have much control over, because those come in during manufacturing processes and extraction methods to get different isolated things out of food and whatever you're trying to get. That is a huge spectrum ingredient or exposure, so we don't have very much control over that at all. Just know that it can affect us, but unfortunately we have more control over the rest of the stuff on this list. Alcohol, excessive alcohol. You can still have your cup of or your glass of wine in the evening. Excessive alcohol intake can wipe out this protective layer in the intestine. And I have gluten highlighted here, and I know some of you are probably face palming right now. Oh God, here we go, gluten, what the heck? Well, let me explain a little bit about gluten. I'm just going to bring up the whole video here so that you can see me. So with gluten, gluten by itself, as it has always been, is not necessarily a problem, but you're finding tons of gluten-free products and a lot of people developing sensitivities to gluten. And the reason that is because we don't ingest the same wheat that we ingested 100 years ago. 100 years ago or 150 years ago, the wheat that was available was either einkorn wheat or emmer wheat, and the closest thing to emmer wheat that we can get today is farro. So if you ever had a farro salad, you're eating an emmer wheat. And this einkorn wheat only had 14 chromosomes. It grew very tall, and it took forever to be ready for harvest. It was very hardy, very nutty, and if you were using it to make, let's say, cupcakes, you're going to have more of a coarse baked good. But it was still delicious, and that's what was available, and not that many people really had any problem with it, unless you were a true celiac. Celiac disease has been around since the beginning of man and any kind of documentation of medical conditions. So celiac is a whole different thing. But people being sensitive to wheat, if they had einkorn flour, they would probably tolerate it just fine. So in nature, plants crossbreed and make new crops, and the birth child of einkorn and a cross species was this emmer wheat, which has 28 chromosomes. Still fine. A lot of people with gluten sensitivities can tolerate farro, so that's not the problem. What happened was, when food started becoming in short supply, they needed to develop a fast food source, so something that would be able to be harvested quickly. So they created this dwarf wheat by crossbreeding all species of wheat, and now you have this chromosome-rich product that is super high in gluten, that has a completely different protein structure than the gluten of yesteryear. And this protein is indigestible for now. It's possible that we could evolve to digest it, because this wasn't a genetically modified situation. This is just natural crossbreeding. Our bodies, our physiology, haven't had time to adapt and develop enzymes to break down this particular gluten that we have today. And that's why you have these sensitivities. And because the body doesn't know what to do with it, it can't break it down. So now all this gluten is in the system and is wreaking havoc and breaking down that mucus layer, and again killing off these protective cells and allowing gaps to form between the intestines. And this is also why gluten is associated with a lot of autoimmune conditions, because when these particles get out into the system due to this leaky gut, now you have toxins, bacteria, and food exposed to the rest of the body. The immune system recognizes that they're there and mounts an immune reaction against them, and those antibodies that are formed in that interaction are confused. They don't know what is from the intestine and what is actually normal host tissue. So they just go ahead and attack it anyway. So it doesn't discriminate between your thyroid or your liver or your joints. They attack different body parts and different people, but that's an autoimmune reaction. So now you see this link between autoimmune disease. So you have the breakdown of this protective lining, particles are allowed to go out, the body mounts an immune response against them, develops antibodies that then get confused and attack normal, healthy tissue. So that's where gluten fits in, and that's where the rest of this stuff fits in. All of these different things in this list. So, what happens from a weight gain standpoint when this gut leaks? Well, you gain weight. Why? Well, just reflect on what I just said. That is a lot of action in the body, and that's so much activity that the immune system has to engage in. You're forcing cells to become damaged because the body is attacking itself, and that causes a ton of inflammation. The cells are in overdrive in terms of trying to remedy this foreign material. So now you have free radical production, and at the same time, because there's so much stuff going on, there is are you watching?
No, is the sun messing?
Oh, no. Sorry. The Hubs is in the background. I wasn't sure if he was trying to watch this video or if he's doing something else. But anyway, it's all good. So you have this chaos in the body, and because there's so much going on, the body kind of takes food and shoves it in the junk drawer. And in the body's case, it's our fat cells. So that's kind of like you have guests coming over and you're trying to clean the house, but you don't have time to really organize everything, so you just throw everything in a junk room. That's what the body's doing with your fat. There's so much activity and there's too much to deal with that when there's anything remotely difficult to digest that comes into the body, it can't keep up with it. So it just shoves it in the fat. So that can be a problem for people who are trying to lose weight, are dieting, and aren't getting anywhere. The other problem is, of course, this whole free radical production, which we will get into more detail later. So, okay, in summary, what we have now is inflammation, because now these destructive toxic particles are exposed to the rest of the body. The immune system is attacking these particles, getting confused, and attacking the body itself too. You have oxidative stress because the cells are all tissue cells are being forced to deal with this inflammation, and these byproducts of dealing with that are free radicals. So if you've ever heard of antioxidants, oxidative stress is what antioxidants are trying to fight. So you have an overall state of dis-ease. Nutrients are becoming more difficult to absorb. Food is becoming more difficult to break down because now the body's losing its signals to release healthy enzymes to break down food. Now, symptom-wise, you get bloating and brain fog because all this crap is out in the body and interacting with all the rest of our normal healthy organs and making them sick. So, do you see the cycle? Maybe it's still a little bit too complicated to see, but it is complicated. So, we're going to go back to this gut flora and microbiome because that was the number one thing on our list that caused leaky gut. And they work hand in hand. They are both equal contributors to weight gain and dis-ease in the body, along with this whole free radical thing. So the microbiome is a super fancy word for all the bacteria and microscopic organisms in your body. And there are a lot of them. There's up to 100 trillion organisms living in and on our body. They dictate many, many, many aspects of health. The majority of them live in the colon. So what does the gut flora do? The gut flora specifically is referring to the bacteria in the colon. It helps break all this good bacteria, help break down and eliminate medications and other toxins that we encounter through diet or the environment. It helps digest. Remember we said that our body's now having trouble digesting? Well, part of the reason is because this bacteria that's supposed to be populated with healthy bacteria is now repopulated with nasty, bad bacteria. I almost said a word I shouldn't have said. So anyways, the bacteria make and absorb critical nutrients, particularly B vitamins. The good bacteria competes with the bad bacteria so that it can effectively remove the bad guys. The good stuff strengthens intestinal barriers. The bad stuff breaks them down. The good bacteria stimulates the healthy immune system. The bad bacteria stimulates that bad immune system because the bad stuff, remember now, is getting out into the bloodstream. So now you're mounting a dysfunctional immune response. And the good bacteria also have a role in managing bile acids, which are very important for keeping up with healthy cholesterol levels, healthy fat levels like triglycerides, which you've ever seen your blood work. You'll probably see a value that indicates triglycerides. And of course, your overall state of metabolism. So again, there is a whole list of diseases that are associated with an altered microbiome or an altered gut flora. And these are documented in the research, and this is where this information came from. Kidney diseases, cardiovascular diseases, neurological diseases like multiple sclerosis and Alzheimer's, again back to allergies, autoimmune conditions, metabolic syndrome, thyroid diseases, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, again symptom-wise, headache, bloating, incomplete elimination. There is so much crossover with leaky gut. And now you have a what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did all of these chemicals come in, rip out the mucus lining, and then cause the shift in bacteria, or did the shift in bacteria cause the leaky gut? And the answer is yes and yes. They both happen because you have a dietary mediator here. So basically the diet affects all of this, and we're going to get into that as well, in addition to exposure to environmental and food related or food derived toxins. So what happens when the bacteria change? Again, back to weight gain, you have a slowing of the metabolism for a different reason. Leaky gut and all the inflammation and the oxidative stress that occurs after that starts to happen is causing that I just want to deal with this right now. I can't deal with breaking down food, so I'm going to shove everything into the fat. That's one mechanism. Now, the bacteria have their own role in all of this. The bad bacteria that are allowed to grow make a byproduct called a short-chain fatty acid, if you want to look it up, that tells the gut and the brain that there's enough energy in the body to manage all the functions and all the vital organs and their activity. So the cell activity, at least the metabolic activity, there's cell activity that creates free radicals, but then there's the metabolic activity, which is where you get your energy from. Those parts of the cell are told to shut down. So now you're not producing energy. So now that's where sluggishness comes in. If you don't have energy, you're not going to feel good. You're not going to have the perception of energy. Also, there's a hormone system in your body. It's called the gut-brain axis. So the digestive system has their own set of hormones. Those hormones are told by the bad bacteria, hey, go tell the brain, I'm still hungry and I really want you to eat sugar and carbs because that's what we want to eat. So make sure that my host is eating those things. And then that drives your behavior. It's interacting with the part of your brain that says, I need to keep eating. I'm not full. I want sugar. I want carbs. So your cravings might not even be a true deep love for sugar. It just might be these bacteria dictating what you want, which is crazy. So this is really crucial to understand how weight gain happens. The other problem with slowing down metabolic activity, remember the byproducts of the bacteria tell all the cells in your body to slow down, we have enough energy. Now your body isn't using fat to make that energy. It's just not doing anything. So that fat is allowed to accumulate, and now even if you were to try to exercise, you're not going to have the energy to exercise, and you're not going to have an opportunity to lose weight because your body's being told we don't have to. Let's just keep it in the fat. So that's a really big problem for people who are trying to lose weight. They physically can't anymore. So it's not you. It's not you failing at anything. Your body, you're not failing your body, so to speak. Your body is failing you. So we already talked about this at length. So one of the other health consequences to altering bad bacteria is, again, I already mentioned this, intestinal permeability. The bad bacteria break down the mucus, or kill off the protective cells, and are exposed to the intestinal cells and create these gaps so that they can get out into the rest of the system and wreak havoc. So I already mentioned diet can alter bacteria. So emulsifiers, so chemical toxins are usually in the diet, and as well as artificial sweeteners, alcohol. These are all dietary related things. So maybe you never had a sweet tooth, but by happenstance, because it was available, you started eating cake whenever. So now that carbohydrate and that sugar and the simple sugars now are going in and feeding a small population of bad bacteria. Now they're allowed to grow. So maybe the good stuff was in enough quantity and quality before. Now, having had, let's say, a piece of cake, right away it's feeding the bad stuff. Even if they're in small quantity at the time, now they're going to be given fuel to multiply, and eventually over-dominate the good stuff. So it's not so much that it's your cravings are now from the bad bacteria, but you probably didn't have them before, way back when. This could have started in childhood. Who knows when it starts, right? So make sure you read food labels to see what you're eating, and try as best you can to stay away from these food additives that are wreaking havoc in the body. Medications are another one. You can't necessarily go off medications if you have a serious illness, but just note that, hey, this could be a problem and you might have to supplement within your diet. So, genetics and epigenetics. Epigenetics is how the environment affects our genes. Endocrine disrupting chemicals and persistent organic pollutants are part of what people are studying within epigenetics. So they kind of go hand in hand. Of course, we can inherit our predisposition for having leaky gut or a certain type of bacterial population in our body from our parents, but again, we don't have control over that, but we do have control over a lot of things. Your exposure as an infant, how you were birthed, whether or not you were breastfed or formula fed, those are things that can start and establish what bacteria you have as a baby and then set you up for whatever down the road, good or bad. Again, alcohol, excessive alcohol. So there's a lot of things that alter gut bacteria, and a lot of them are consumed with the diet, mainly via preservatives and packaging that food comes in. So now, you basically eat preservative-free, you got rid of all the packaged foods, you're mainly eating fruits and vegetables, good, healthy, lean meats, and you exercise, and so why am I not healthy? Because it doesn't matter, unfortunately, because we all ate like crap at some point in our lives, whether it be as a child, maybe your parents didn't make dinner and you got fast food all the time, or maybe you had a party phase in college with excessive alcohol and fast food. Who knows? At some point in your life, maybe you had a strong course of antibiotics more than once. There's multiple points in your life that could have set you up for this. And unfortunately, again, if you partied in college, that could have had an effect. Unfortunately, the past is haunting us today because now it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're exercising, eating healthy, eating clean, doing all the right things. This all happened in the past, and unless you took the steps to fix it, it's still going to be a problem, and this could be why you're not losing weight and why you still don't have energy and still get headaches and still have brain fog and still have joint pain and your autoimmune conditions are not getting under control and you're requiring all the medications that are available by rheumatologists to get things under control. So, but it is reversible. It is reversible. This is great news. It just doesn't happen overnight, which is the bad news. And I hate to deliver bad news, but it is so slow because you have to tackle it from the inside out with a whole body approach. A healing approach. So it takes time, and that sucks because now you want to lose weight, but you really can't in the first couple months because all of this crap going on has to heal. Your intestines are sick. They're damaged. That's like having a sprained ankle. You can't just get up and start running again or breaking a bone. There has to be a period of time that heals and then you strengthen. So this is the same thing we have to do with our intestine. We have to heal first. So the weight loss in the beginning is going to be frustrating. But there are positives to this. The other thing in the beginning is that your GI system can go through ups and downs in the beginning. So you might have a period of diarrhea, maybe, for a couple days, or even constipation. It depends on the person which way it goes, but there is an adjustment period as your body's getting rid of the bad stuff and getting all the good stuff in there. So that's the other downfall. There is an adjustment period. But look at this list of pros. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Your skin is going to be healthy, more vibrant. You'll recover faster from workouts. So if you tend to get really sore after workouts, that soreness is going to be minimized because when we work out, that's another source of oxidative stress. And that stiffness you feel is the inflammation associated with those free radicals. So now taking this healing approach, you're not going to have that situation. You're going to have less inflammation in the body. So now you recover faster. Your whole immune system is going to be improved because now I can focus on when something comes into the body that shouldn't be there. It will have the correct signals and the correct action plan, as opposed to this getting confused and I don't know what to do. I'm going to go over here and you go over there, and nobody knows what the right doesn't know what the left is doing, and now you have these autoimmune things, right? So your whole immune system is going to be better. You're going to respond to each season better if you're prone to seasonal allergies. Your joints will feel better. That stiffness, that aching is all from inflammation associated with this crap storm going on in your body. And eventually, yes, you're going to lose weight, and guess what? You're going to keep it off. It's going to stay off, and you're going to be less likely to gain weight later on. So this is there's far more benefits to healing from the inside out and working with a whole body approach than there are cons. Sure, you have to wait a little bit, but guess what? Who cares? Because you're going to feel better in the meantime, and then the weight loss follows. So what are we going to do to actually address these problems? Well, there's 4 things that I think are of equal importance to address. One of them is the gut integrity, which we talked about. We have to heal that intestinal permeability. We have to heal that leaky gut. We have to calm the inflammation down that's already in the body. Just healing, just providing the body with stuff that's going to heal, it has to be something that's also going to calm down the inflammation. Sleep is in here, diet is in here, and of course the gut flora. So let me take a minute and just mention sleep. Sleep is a whole topic unto itself. We could talk for hours on sleep, but there's plenty of resources out there how to get a good night's sleep. And of course you should rule out organic things like sleep apnea. There's tons of essential oils. Essential oils are massively popular now. You don't have to look too far to find somebody that has essential oils and knows how to use them. If you have questions about that, I'm happy to provide information. Blue light is a huge thing with affecting sleep. Blue light is emitted from all of our technology. So if you're a phone scroller, or you read your Kindle, or you watch TV right before bed, that can affect sleep. And there's a really easy fix for that: blue light blocking glasses. If you go into the group, one of my first posts was about blue light blocking glasses. So make sure you do address sleep. Sleep is important, but it's such a huge topic. We just don't have enough time to talk about everything involved. Also, diet is huge, but I must warn you about rapid weight loss programs. The rapid weight loss programs, especially the product-driven ones where you're taking a ton of crazy supplements that have those high caffeine content products and really, really extreme diets, they promise rapid weight loss, and they work. I will tell you they work. However, the problem is, and actually they don't always work, but unless the program is addressing healing and restoring this disease in the body, you're causing more distress. So all of these metabolism boosting things are going to cause more distress because you have these conflicting signals. The bacteria are telling your cells to slow down, but the inflammation are telling your cells to speed up. 2 different parts of the cell, but still they're in conflict. And if you're forcing this override and you're overriding these signals in the body, that's just causing more distress. And even though you lose the weight temporarily, when you go off the diet, it comes back on fast and then some. And then it becomes even more difficult to lose due to all the reasons that we just talked about. So be careful with rapid weight loss schemes. The idea is to have a healthy lifestyle and to create healthy, lifelong habits. So diet does matter for sure. So what do I talk about? What do I mean when I talk about diet? For me, diet is just following common sense. Trying to stay away from processed foods, looking for things that have high fructose corn syrup in them and tossing them in the trash, minimizing the big offenders, even gluten where you can. I'm not telling you to eliminate it. I'm just telling you to minimize all the crap. Eat fruits and vegetables and healthy sources of meat and healthy sources of vegan food if you are vegan protein, if you are a vegan. So it's using common sense, that old adage, shop on the perimeter of the grocery store instead of the middle aisles. So just follow a general health conscious mindset. Mostly fruits and vegetables, lean meats, healthy complex grains, and try to read labels and minimize those nasty preservatives where you can. I understand that that's unrealistic to come. We still, even though we eat pretty healthy, even healthy foods that are marketed as healthy have these emulsifiers and preservatives in them. You just have to read labels. And do we completely stay away from them? No, because it's impossible, and I get that. It's a matter of just doing your best and giving your body nutrition and resources to heal and assist with breaking down the foods that the body can't recognize. And what you take, we'll get into very soon. So we're going to start with antioxidants, digestive enzymes, and probiotics. So the antioxidant therapy is for healing damage. Something has to come in and restore that mucus layer and allow those protective cells to repopulate. They reduce overall inflammation, and they minimize and neutralize the free radicals that are being produced left and right. Probiotics are going to restore the bacteria in the gut so that they can overpopulate the bad stuff. And digestive enzymes are used because, as I mentioned, a lot of the things that we encounter are unrecognizable by the body and are difficult to break down. So by giving digestive enzymes, you're not only breaking down food and extracting more nutrients and absorbing more nutrients by providing them, you're also giving your body an extra chance to break down foreign material and eliminate it through the excretory organs or through the waste organs. So having digestive enzymes is massively beneficial because now you're able to break down everything that your body can't break down because it's too busy dealing with everything else. And if you're desperate for weight loss, there is some gentle, easy, non-stressful things that you can take that will shift the body towards burning more fat as a fuel source as opposed to sugars and proteins. So, antioxidant therapy. Antioxidants, by definition, are chemical constituents or properties of colorful fruits and vegetables that can eliminate chemicals produced as a result of oxidative stress. Those chemicals are free radicals. It's just a really fancy definition for it. It's the really good stuff in fruits and vegetables that give them color, that can take out free radicals. There is so much time and money going into antioxidant research right now. It is unbelievable. You couldn't get through all the research if you spent your entire life reading it. It is absolutely a gargantuan amount of research. And there's new drugs being researched and identified to help mimic these antioxidants. Also, studies on obesity show that individuals with obesity are deficient in antioxidants. So many of them are. So this is something that we need to replenish. One thing about the drugs being developed and why they're not available is because single antioxidants. So what they have to do is they have to take, let's say, citrus. The main constituent in citrus is called hesperidin. So what they try to do is make a synthetic version of hesperidin or isolate it by using solvents and then delivering that by itself. But the problem is that it can't be utilized by itself. It has to be given with the rest of the antioxidants that are in the fruit. So you get into this problem where kind of nature knows best and that you should be taking the whole food form. And the other problem is that multiple sources of antioxidants are needed from different fruits and vegetables to really cover the whole gamut of inflammation in the body. So you can't just take cherry juice, let's say, and cover all the issues that could be going on in the body. So it has to be a multi-source antioxidant product. So what should I get? These are my preference, my favorite, after doing tons of scouting as to what's available. This is by far my favorite product because, one, it's more affordable because it contains all these different antioxidants. You have wolfberry, blueberry, plum, cherry, aronia, and pomegranate. Aronia is actually a unique berry that's native to the eastern United States, so it's sourced and grown right in the United States. There is some preliminary and promising research that wolfberries can heal the gut, so restore that mucus layer and actually heal that damage in the body. And grapeseed extract is very good for healing surface tissue like skin and, in this case, intestinal tissue. So there's also some additional antioxidant sources from citrus. Citrus antioxidants are absolutely incredible. There's thousands of studies on them, and it's absolutely amazing what they're finding. I'd be happy to talk to you about that if you want to talk to me one-on-one. So this is my favorite. It's called Ninja Red. It's available from Young Living, and like I said, so far this surpasses anything I've ever found. Just from the company's integrity and their sourcing standards and their quality control, I am a 100% believer in this particular one. In fact, I drink this every day. In fact, I'm drinking it right now. It's absolutely my favorite. If you were to get all of these juices by themselves, it would cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And so it's just nice to have something that has everything that you need in one thing. With probiotics, what you need to look for is diversity, that it has multiple different strains and a high enough organism count. So, again, this is my favorite probiotic. I've tried tons of probiotics in the past, and so far this is the one that I think works the quickest and the best. There's 9 different strains, and the strains in this product are specifically the strains that they have come to know are deficient in obesity and weight gain, as well as the other conditions that were mentioned earlier. And there's 17 billion organisms. There are products with 50, 90, 100 billion organisms in them. And at first, when I first heard of this product, I was a little worried that there wouldn't be enough. But after recommending it to patients and family and friends and taking it myself, that worry was completely eliminated because this is the best product I have ever used and recommended so far. Not saying that there isn't going to be something that comes along in the future, but right now this is my favorite. It's a very stable, quality product. Okay, so now we need enzymes to help the body break down. It's part of the protocol. It goes with antioxidant therapy and probiotic therapy. This is another favorite enzyme that I've found. Again, I've used other enzymes, but this is the most comprehensive because it's 2 capsules and it is time released. So now you're getting enzymes being released at every step of the digestive process. Enzymes are already being released in your mouth. So enzymes need to be released through every step of the body, or every location of digestion in the body. So mouth, stomach, small intestine, even teeny, not so much in the colon, but that's where the bacteria come in. The bacteria take over the digestive process in the colon. So this particular enzyme product will provide enough enzymes throughout the whole digestive tract, as opposed to other ones that might only get released in the stomach or might only get released in one part of the intestine. So far, again, this is my favorite. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm absolutely loving the results that I'm getting with this, with, again, patients, friends, family. So for those who are really looking, what can I use to jumpstart things? Is there anything safe that I can use? One of the things that comes with this Ninja Red is another Ninja product called Ninja Nitro, and there's a little bit, not a high dose, because those rapid weight loss programs usually have a really high dose of green tea extract. There's a lower dose of green tea extract, and that can help tell the body, hey, can you burn off a little fat instead of sugar and protein. So this is I actually took one of these today because it's also really good for cognitive function. My mouse is not showing up here. So I'll show you this. This is the product. It's just a little shot and you squeeze it. We just kind of squeezed it into our drink earlier, or you can drink it straight. It doesn't matter, but it's extremely good for cognitive function and a gentle, easy thing to use to slowly start telling your body, hey, we need to rev the engines and burn more energy, and I would like that energy to be fat. Citrus products are also really gentle. We eat citrus every day, so it's a whole food form. It's not caffeine loaded or anything, so citrus essential oils can work. Again, these aren't going to be like lose 20 pounds overnight types of things. They're just really gentle, non-traumatic things that we can put in our body. High-intensity interval training is the gold standard for weight loss right now in terms of exercise, where you're doing high intensity and then followed by a period of low intensity. And there's a lot of gyms that are popping up that focus on this. One of them is Orange Theory Fitness, which is actually they're international. They're all over the globe. And if you're local to me in Orchard Park, New York, there's one in Orchard Park. I think there's a couple more being established in the area, and there's one in Niagara Falls Boulevard, near the Boulevard Mall, or in the Boulevard Mall, somewhere around there. So Orange Theory Fitness is phenomenal. They have the science down to a T, and I have been going there myself, and I absolutely love it. If you're looking for help with exercise, I would go there, but there could be other gyms in the area that specialize in interval training as well. So here's a closer look at Ninja Red. Here's all the really awesome ingredients. Green tea extract.
Green tea extract is NT.
Green tea extract is its own thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not, okay.
It's not green tea. Although green tea can be used to boost metabolism as well. Again, it's caffeine rich, so you don't want to go overboard with it. So the list of ingredients here are kind of twofold. One, they help, again, make the body prefer to burn fat over other fuel sources. And these are also extremely powerful brain stimulants. So if you really want to get rid of brain fog quickly, this can help with that too. So I love it. There's a lot of antioxidants and essential oils in this as well. So in summary, now that your heads are spinning, so we're going to do Ninja Red. We're going to do that 2 to 4 ounces a day, twice a day. Depending on how bad your symptoms are, you might be doing 4 ounces a day, or if it's not too terrible, it's 2 ounces a day. I just kind of go by how I feel. If I have a really heavy workout or I'm overworked or something, I'll go up to 4 ounces, but usually I stick to around 1 to 2. Enzymes you're taking twice a day with your biggest meals, because again, our biggest source of offenders are in our diet, so we just want to have the enzymes in there right as we're eating. And then a probiotic you're taking right before bed, so that it can do its thing while you're sleeping. And then the nitro you can take when you feel like you need it, if you're having like a 2 o'clock lull or a 2 o'clock crash. If you know that you have predictive times a day where you get tired, you can take a Ninja shot right before that time or right before a workout. I usually take them before a workout. I take a Ninja shot or a nitro right before I do a presentation like this, just to get a little extra brain function. So that's the basic protocol. That's your wellness protocol. It's so simple. If you look up leaky gut protocols, they can get so complicated and expensive and too intricate, and it involves way too many products that you probably won't even remember to take. So I try to find the most simple, direct protocol that you can do to target it, aggressive enough where this stuff is getting fixed, but not so aggressive that you're putting the body into distress. So after months of research, this is what I came up with. This is my favorite product line so far. So there you have it. So here's the additional benefits of getting these products. You also get, if you are interested in essential oils, it comes with a free essential oil called Stress Away, which is for stress. You can put it on your wrists and temples. If you want to start getting rid of environmental sources of toxins, it comes with an all-purpose cleaner that you can play with and use. I actually just started using this recently and I absolutely love it. I was just using vinegar and water and some just drops of lemon or thieves or something before. And I noticed my hardwood floor was getting kind of grimy, or not grimy, like a film. And so I started using the Thieves Cleaner, and it took that film away, and now they're nice and shiny. Still scratched from Finnick's paws, but at least they're a little bit shinier. And then there's some information on other essential oils and a magazine with tips on how to use the ingestible oils. So that's a close-up of everything in there that comes with these Ninja and enzymes and probiotics. Also, this month, you're giving away a free bottle of basil, which is a cooking oil that you can use wherever you use dried basil. You can use this in place of it. You only need a tiny bit, and because this is an oil, it'll last forever. There's no expiration date, so this stuff is fantastic. I always use it in my pasta sauces, and I always like to put a little bit of an herby taste if I'm making a gluten-free or paleo pizza crust. The other thing that they're doing, anybody who joins or welcomes themselves to this company and gets their Ninja products through them, they're giving everybody this month a free bag of Stress Away bath bombs. So that's really cool. That's something new that they're doing, and I'm really excited about it. This is a really nice, all-natural bath bomb. I know that their bath bombs are on the market everywhere now. So this one is going to be all natural, moisturizing, rejuvenating, and relaxing. So another benefit is I have a private support group for people who are going through these protocols and trying to achieve a change in their lives with, they're eating healthy, but they're not losing weight. So anybody that embarks on this journey and takes this whole body approach and starts to utilize this protocol, I have a whole separate group called the Wealthy Living Family, and this is where everybody can come together and either vent or ask questions and just support each other in their wellness journey. So it's a nice little group that maintains privacy. It's totally closed. You have to have special permission to come in, so there's no negativity. It's all positive, and it's brand new. I just created it recently, and so far I think it's going pretty well. So an additional benefit is being able to join this little small knit network. Also, anybody that is deciding to pursue this wellness journey and healing from the inside out and taking on this wellness protocol this month up until April 30th is going to be entered to win a weight loss and workout recovery wellness basket. So once you go through this protocol and you're feeling pretty good, here it is. Oh, I have to end this. So here's the whole basket, if you can see it. Everything in this picture is in this basket. So, Mr. Vanna White there. Let's see if we can get back onto the picture. So yeah, everything in this picture is in that basket. And so everybody who purchases the wellness protocol this month will be entered to win this basket that will be announced on May 1st. So we will be announcing the winner on May 1st. And so after you're pretty well healed and you're starting to see results, if at that point your weight loss starts to plateau, there are some products that do encourage speed up in metabolism, and that's this Sleek line. I wouldn't use them right away, but I wanted to have an opportunity for someone to try them and see how they work for them only after they do the wellness protocol, which is why we're not announcing the winner until May 1st. Also, workout recovery, there's additional products here for sore muscles. And again, sulfurzyme is a really neat product that prevents free radicals from forming in the first place. It's a really small molecule, so a lot of cells can take it in and use it to help with inflammation and prevent oxidative stress. There's a ton of stuff here. It would take forever to go through everything, but these are, again, amazing products, and I love them. So how the heck do you get your wellness protocol? That's what everybody's waiting for, right? So you just go to the link there's a link in the description above this video, or you can type in www.hesterhealth.com/getting-started, and all the instructions are there with photos written out, and it should be easy to follow on how you get it. And I will know who has, if you follow that link, I'll know who I need to enter into the giveaway. Of course, I'm always around to ask questions, so message me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can contact me through Hester Health. That number's textable if you go to my Hester Health page. I am easy to find, so you should have no problem trying to get a hold of me to ask any questions. So again, hesterhealth.com/getting-started. All the instructions are there for how to sign up for the wellness protocol, how to get all your products, and that free basil and the Stress Away bath bombs will come automatically with that. And also I will add you to the Wealthy Living family right away. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. There's me and Finnick looking crazy, and Finnick wants to say hello. Let's see if we can get Finnick to say hello. Here he is. Come here. Come on.
Come on, up here.
Up.
Come here. Up.
Up.
Come
Yeah,
on.
he's
Come
having
here.
trouble. There he is.
Good boy.
He's got my
Good boy,
hair.
Sting.
Woo!
Oh my God! Little bonus for you.
Okay.
I think that's a
Anyways.
good cue to wrap it up.
Woohoo! Comedy relief. All right. Say goodbye, Finnick. All right, everybody. If anyone has any questions, thanks for watching. And yeah, let's get healthy and heal and meet our weight loss goals.
Try to stay in your seats.
Yes, don't fall backwards on your seat like I just did. Okay, I'll see you guys. You can replay this anytime. I'm going to leave it up for the whole month. And hopefully you enjoy. If you have any requests for any other classes in the future, I'm happy to take suggestions. Next month is going to be about workout recovery and how to use exercise for weight loss and health benefits and things like that. And again, the giveaway, like, share, comment on this video, and all of the people that like, share, and comment will be entered to win a bunch of different stuff throughout the month. First of which is these bath bombs from Wealthy Living. These are Wealthy Living bath bombs. The other ones that you're getting this month are Young Living Stress Away bath bombs. And then these ones are for soaking your feet. So that's the first giveaway. Like, share, comment. If you want 5 entries, add your friend or yourself to the Wealthy Living group. That will give you 5 entries, and I will keep all of those entries in a giant pool because I'm going to be doing more giveaways throughout the rest of the month, different essential oils and other products. So yeah, like, share, comment. I'm just going to have a running huge pool of entries. so that people can win a lot of free stuff. Okay, so, all right, now we're done. I hope you enjoyed, and best of luck to all of you on your wellness protocol and wellness journey. Now let's see how I end this video. There it is. Bye.